What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. How are you?
Really good.
Really good. Okay.
Yeah, had a good Christmas.
I like it, man.
Now I'm chopping it up on a podcast.
I could dig that, man.
The weather is beautiful, too.
It actually is.
The only problem is I wish it would have snowed yesterday.
Whoa, wait a minute. Why you want that?
Just because it's Christmas.
That's so cliche, though.
I mean, I guess, but you still want it.
Cliche. I don't want it, though.
There's certain cliches that are good.
I'm cool on the snowy white Christmas, man.
No, I mean, snow yesterday, now back up to 50s today.
Oh,
Once the day's over, let's get on with the warm weather. So you want that
global warming going on, man. I'm cool on all of that.
Basically, if it helps me, yes.
Yeah, hey, look, after spending my time in Buffalo, yeah, I've had my fair share of white Christmases. I'm cool on it.
Well, I remember being out in AZ and I was telling you this. I'm like, man, these guys can't be enjoying Christmas and Thanksgiving out here. They don't got the cold weather because there's something about the cold weather. You're inside, you're cozy, throwing a fire.
I'm good.
Christmas movies.
I'm good.
And you said, nah, man, AZ, these people don't give a crap about that out here. Yeah, they're fine with the warm weather.
Hey, they're laughing at us. Tree, man. You be good to go, bro. For my Florida people, all my desert people, my West Coast people, bump that.
Dude, I wanted to bring something up too because we made that post yesterday.
We did, yes.
Little goofy, little fun post for
some
Christmas
of the posts
Day.
That was dominated by people agreeing with me.
I don't know about that.
Oh, wow. Are you looking at your page or my page?
On my page, people were more upset. I think on your page, too, that Christmas Vacation wasn't on there.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Christmas Vacation. And then
I knew that was going to be the case.
I saw people get on you for your Grinch movie, the new Grinch.
I know, man. I don't get it. I know people were upset. The one dude explained it to me that there's too much going on. There's too many gadgets and things are too nice.
It's like a kid movie.
Dude, but the storyline is incredible. The storyline's way better in that one than any of the others.
It's a kid movie, man.
Except the first one's like short, though. The first one, it's just really basic. And I think the two that we're talking about, the Jim Carrey one and the animated one, they flesh it out a little more. They have some liberties, and I think
Jim Carrey one is dope. Everybody knows that. You saw
it
people.
Scares me, dude.
People love the Jim Carrey one because it's the Grinch. He's not supposed to be friendly.
I'm not talking about the Grinch. It's just weird, man. Like
he's not supposed to be friendly looking.
The Grinch is supposed to be just animated.
No, he's supposed to look scary.
Come on, dude. I don't want to see the humans dressed up and then them trying to make their nose longer. It's just weird, man. I don't want that.
Oh my goodness. So that means no Lord of the Rings movies because those are elves dressed up as humans, not animated.
Actually, I haven't seen any of those, so there might be a deep subconscious thing.
I'm gonna say you're telling of yourself then, man. That's what's really going on here.
See, I like Narnia though. Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, was cool.
Lion, Witch, the Wardrobe.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just all over the place. But what I wanted to say was what's funny about that is whenever I told you like, hey, why don't we do something like this, and then we agreed to it, and then I was making up the post and then we eventually posted like a little bit beforehand. I was thinking like, I feel like this is going to get some traction just any of the sports stuff.
Yeah, it did.
I just want to say shout out because that makes it fun to like the people that follow us that are having debates about anything.
We're giving them all type of content, man. Y'all want to debate, follow us, man. We got y'all.
I really like that.
I like how polarizing my Die Hard pick was too. It was either people love Die Hard and they're like it's a Christmas movie, or they're like, no, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, period.
I was surprised on that. People that were coming back on Die Hard. I definitely thought people were going to be agreeing with your list more than mine. Just
they did for the record. And just throwing it out there,
which I'm fine with. Mine has its own unique flair.
If it's a Christmas movie, when it's Christmas, which it was yesterday, they're going to play these movies on repeat. So A Christmas Story was on repeat. Grinch was on repeat. Die Hard was on. I watched Die Hard 4 times in a row yesterday, bro. 4 times in a row. I'm saying, bro.
What does that mean?
Because it's a Christmas movie. It's on repeat for anyone that doesn't think it's a Christmas movie.
Got you. Like it was on.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah, I'm good with
playing
it.
it over and over.
I didn't debate you on that. I was cool with it.
Our biggest debate was just the Grinch.
Yes.
I personally like them all. I'm just saying if I had to pick a favorite.
Nah, I feel and that's fine. That's fine. We all have our own opinions. That's what it comes down to.
I like it, bro. I like it.
Was your Christmas good though?
It was, man. Yours?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. It was chill, and that's how I like it.
Hey, man, I was thrown off because I was looking for football games yesterday because the past couple of years, I'm used to either playing on Christmas or at least watching a football game on Christmas. I'm like, yo, where the game at today?
I know.
It was a Wednesday.
I know.
Got me.
It is disappointing.
It felt weird. I felt like I was missing something.
And definitely because half of the NBA games were bust.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, New Orleans Nuggets. What was the first one?
Rockets, Warriors.
And then Celtics, Raptors.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
I didn't watch any of that.
No,
it was all trash.
I didn't. And then, unfortunately, LeBron, our guy, went down. So it was, in terms of the sports yesterday, it was rough.
Yeah, very, very underwhelming, to say the least. But it's all good because today is a new day. And we know this weekend we have football, baby.
Yeah.
Steelers football, baby. I'm excited.
I'm
excited.
I'm numb, dude.
You're numb. Bro, you realize the amount of weeks remaining slim to none.
I know.
You better embrace it because it's a long, cold summer.
But I'm numb, and I think a lot of people are numb right now.
Y'all say that now, and then come May, y'all gonna be, man, I wish Steelers football be back, man. I can't wait to watch the game again, man.
I know.
Y'all better enjoy it while you can.
This is a different form of
enjoy it while you
football
can.
right here. This is a different
I'm telling you, it's a long off season when you're done before New Year's.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope we win, but I think with this numbing of emotions, I can't get hurt as bad.
Never thought I'd see the day, Deke.
What?
You got to just love recklessly. Just put yourself out there. Be vulnerable, man.
I'm gonna be rooting for us, but there is a little holdback this time. I think
I'm diving all in, man.
You're diving all in.
Yeah.
Wait, why now?
I've been like this, bro.
Come on, you haven't.
No. I've always wanted to watch them play and always support them.
Okay.
When it comes to picking winners and losers, that's where we differ. You can't separate the two. For you, you're either going to watch him with all your emotion, you're going to pick with all your emotion, or you're like just completely reserved. For me, I'm like, I'm going to love the team with all my emotion. When it comes to picking, I'm taking emotion out the window. I'm like, I ain't got time for that. Let's really study this thing. Let's get surgical real quick.
Teach us your ways, man. How do you do it? I don't know if I want to do it, though. To be honest with you.
I like it better for you, man. You are you.
Too.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the fandom, though.
It is.
Like, you just got to rock with that. For me, I'm always like, I always got that player side in me.
No,
I can't like fully just throw it all out the window and just, this is how I am 100% of the time.
Because there's probably things that you just enjoy about the game that, whether it's techniques or seeing schemes that I have no clue. You know what I mean? I have no clue. So there's probably that caveat to you where you at least get that side of it.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy watching certain things, man.
Or even like maybe if we are getting blown out or we're losing a game, certain players, they're doing certain things that you like, and potential's starting to be reached with players. So that's tough. It's really tough for me to see all that.
That's normal.
I'm not trained like that.
Yeah, it's normal. This is like years of being conditioned to look at it that way.
No,
I'm just now getting back to this is entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, let me just watch it just to watch it. Like, I still break down everything I watch. Like, well, he could have done that. And if he lines up right here at this depth, if he's 2 yards outside the hash, that'd make that play that much easier. Yeah.
Well, that's why you said you like doing the Keller commentating. And I remember seeing a few games with you in person, and before the snap, you're telling me this and that. All right, watch this guy here. This is going to happen.
It's fun, man.
Nah, I could tell you got a passion for it.
I appreciate you, man. Shoot. All right. You know what I'm saying, man? We're a good team, though.
I think so. Now, where do we start here with this game?
Well, since we're talking good teams, should we talk about the good team?
What?
You want to talk about the good team?
What do you mean?
If I just say the good team, which team are you thinking of?
I'm thinking Steelers. We're the good guys.
Right,
we're the good guys, you know?
The good guys are the good team.
I mean, you could say it however you want. I'm assuming that's what you mean by it.
I'm just saying the good team. Not the good guys, the good team. The team that if you had to put your life on it, like, that's the team you're rolling with. The good team.
You had to go put a few thousand on the squad.
What team would you be thinking of talking about when I say the good team?
Man,
Go ahead, say it, Deke. Go ahead.
This year, it's not us.
So who is it, Deke? Who am I referring to, Deke?
Come on, dude.
I just want to hear you say it.
Say what, man?
Who's the good team I'm talking about?
Ravens are playing good this year.
Is that the team I'm talking? Oh, wow. You sell out.
Come on, dude.
You sell out. I'd never say that out of my mouth, man.
Come on, dude.
Ratbirds get no love over here, baby.
So who's the good team?
It's always Pittsburgh, especially in this game. This the one where I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't care. It's certain teams I can never pick for. Certain teams I can't do it.
I never said I'm picking for them.
I'm just saying there's certain teams that I would never consider good. Certain teams that they could win a championship, and I'm still like, y'all bums.
Okay.
It's only two of them. This team and another one is up north. So either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that, man.
I just don't like them.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Double rivalry for me, man.
I was going to say, you must not like them as a player then even. There must have been some bad blood going on there.
You know that, man. Come on, baby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there definitely was.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens one's lightened up a little bit.
Nah.
You don't think?
Nah. The difference is this.
Yeah, what's the difference between the, 06, 07 to maybe 11?
06, 07, you were getting some of the nastiness, the nasty hits, right? So it makes it more volatile. People are seeing it's like more personal because you're seeing people really get blood, people getting hurt, all that type of stuff, right? During my time here, you think 14 to 17, who was all the nasty hits coming against? All the big, nasty, crazy plays, the off-field talking trash, it was with the Bengals. So it kind of like made it shift like, oh, the bigger rivalry is with the Bengals right now just because of the nastiness in it. Whereas for us, we never looked at the Bengals as like, this is a rival. We looked at them as like, this is the little brother that keeps barking and we got to smack him. Whereas the Ravens, it was always like, that's the rivalry. That's the one where we know it could go 50-50. Doesn't matter who's out there. We know it's going to be that type of game.
I think their records too, Harbaugh and Tomlin, it is like, 500 right 50, now.
50, yeah. And that's the thing. So like for us, we never looked at it as the rivalry lightened up. It was just you weren't getting so much nastiness, and in the nastiness that was out there, it was very small compared to what was going on in Cincinnati with Burfict and all those guys. Because just how big it was and how much national coverage it had with it going on and stuff like that.
Here's what I will say too about the rivalry, the time you've been there, and up till now, which is only a year, like 2 years removed.
Yeah, about 2 years. Yeah. 2 years,
not that long. Yeah. But anyway, I think Ben's been hurt for a decent amount of these Ravens games. If you could correct my memory here,
I'm trying to think. My 4 years, so we missed 2 of them.
2 of them. Now we got him missing 2 of these.
Yeah.
Did he miss one last year? No, I don't think he did.
He played both of them last year. This one's like if in 4 years you play that team twice a year. That's 8.
So that's 4.
So 6 out of
that's 4 wins for us there to take us from 500.
You said what?
That's 4 wins if Ben's in.
If you say so.
I'm just saying.
Was he undefeated versus them?
Nah, but man, it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Hey, I wish it was that simple. I mean, I know we won some crazy ones now. It was dogfights, but it wasn't never, we got this. We're just going to win this. Sheesh. I wish it was that easy, man. I tell you that. Gosh.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
We because I think most of their guys have usually been healthy in terms of their studs against us. 7's the guy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there so people, maybe
7 was always the guy to you though. We already talked about that.
Maybe it wouldn't have been as close of 500 if we're getting unlucky. We're just getting unlucky out there sometimes.
Hey man, I'm with you, bro. Whatever you say. I like how you was like he missed a lot of those games. I was like 8 times, missed 2. That ain't a lot, but all right, I'll roll with you though.
I gotta go back.
We had Vic play at one time.
I know, and
then I'm trying to think, what's the other game he missed versus them? It might have been only one in my 4 years.
I don't know. I gotta look back.
Because we played them twice my first year. In 14, we lost on Thursday night in Baltimore. Then we smacked them on Monday night in Pittsburgh. The following year,
dude, you're getting too detailed for me. Just let me roll.
All right. Hey, man. It's the narrative. You're right. Whatever the narrative is, man, I'm with you, bro.
Just let me roll with those.
I'm with you, bro.
It's 4 games.
I'm with you, man. It was a lot. It might have been 6 games he missed, actually, bro. I'm with you, bro. We will roll with it. But yeah, man, talking about this rivalry though, bro, like it's one of the best of the best. That's why I love it. You know what I mean? It's one of the ones that you always have the history involved. We always have the star players involved. I think in terms of star talent, this will probably be the least amount of big name players in this game, probably in the history of the series.
I think it still means something, definitely on both sides, just because we need to make the playoffs. Yeah. And even though they are having some of their backups in, they can play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would love to knock us out.
Yeah.
That would actually be really funny for them. Hey, we did with the
Bills.
The Bills, but then the Browns back whenever they were trying to not have their 0-16
season.
And we had some of our backups in. That was funny for us.
I always looked at that game as like, y'all are a bad team though. 0-16. I look at this situation as more complex, like that Bills situation where they're trying to get into the playoffs. Tommy Matty's your boy gets the dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. But it's not gonna be easy. I tell you that, man.
When was this Bills thing?
This would have been
because I just said I know what you're talking about.
Now I'm on it though, man. But
you said Tommy Maddox.
Yeah, Maddox was the quarterback.
He was the backup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Resting the guys. Bills needed to win. Had their starters and got beat.
Man, so you weren't even on the Bills at this time?
No.
This is just like a folklore thing they talk about up there. Like, we got screwed. Maddox took us out.
No, not screwed. It's just we talk about it a lot here in Pittsburgh because of this situation and because of how the narrative was, Baltimore's resting their guys. This is going to be an easy dub. And we're like, well, actually, we were in this same situation when we put Tommy Maddox in to go play the Bills, and the Bills needed to get the win to get into the playoffs. This would have been, it was early 2000s, tops, early 2000s. Yeah.
I was going to say it has to be.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think it's going to be an easy game at all for us.
And even with the guys they're resting, I'm like, they still got some dogs.
Man, I mean, we could go straight to RG3 if you want.
Yeah.
And
he'll be the best quarterback in the room.
Yeah, his time back in Cleveland, I mean, it was rough. That was the last time you really got to see him as a starter, but it's Cleveland. I mean, he's not set up to succeed there.
Even though we say it was rough, he was playing good until he got hurt.
Yeah.
That's when he got rough. Before he got hurt, them first couple games, he was doing fine.
Yeah, well, he played us. He played us. He had a decent stat line. Mm-hmm. And then obviously went to Baltimore. He's been the backup. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the offense is kind of set up for him to be pretty solid. He still has wheels. I mean, he could throw the ball. Mm-hmm. I would take him over anyone we got. We talked about this.
Yeah, we are. So we already talked about. You're right, 100%, man, 100%.
So I don't. We got to be on our P's and Q's here. And I'm sure. I was gonna. What? What's so funny?
Nothing, man. Keep going, bro.
Dude, you want to go back to like a few weeks ago?
I'm just listening to you, man. Let's just roll with it, bro.
No, I'm assuming because we got to make the playoff. We got to win this to make the playoffs. Like, we're not taking this lightly at all. But right. I mean, are they thinking in the back of their minds? Would you be thinking in the back of your mind? Oh, backups are in. Like, we could. Nah, this is going to be easier than if we were playing Lamar and the crew.
I personally win it, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I think it's going to be a dogfight, a real life dogfight. I think they coming out fired up, ready to go. I hope we match their energy. That's the thing, because this is one of those games you got to be careful of. Like, Steelers could easily come out flat, or they could come out with the mindset of like, we trying to send a message, or they can come out understanding that, hey, regardless of what we do today, we don't control anything. Like, you just really, that's a unique space to be in terms of mentally preparing for a game and playing that game for 4 quarters while you're scoreboard watching. Like, those are some of the issues with that.
So they're gonna be scoreboard watching.
I mean, it's human nature. You can be scoreboard watching, are you not?
I might have. Actually, you know what happened? Remember the Bills Jets game where we were playing the Browns?
Cleveland, yes, everybody understand was scoreboard watching.
I actually had that game on like as my main TV that I was watching over our game. Yeah, because that's the one that mattered more. Like we could win and we still might not get in. This is the one that actually means something. Yeah. And that Browns game was tight as hell.
No, dude, like I remember we didn't really like take control of the game until midway through the 4th. And then even with that, while we took control, the Jets were still winning. And we were just having this feeling of like, yo, this sucks. And then I remember it was like just probably like 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. The crowd goes nuts. And we're just like, yo, why are they going crazy? Like nothing happened. Like it was like just almost like a TV timeout, dead time. And we look up and the Bills had got the turnover from Fitzpatrick and they had just scored. And everybody was like going nuts because we knew we were going to the playoffs then. And from there, like all our energy was like, yo, yeah. We on the field jumping, getting hype. Bro, it was nuts, man. But I'll never forget. It was a terrible feeling the whole game because literally the Jets were winning the whole time.
They were, yep. And
I was remember saying like, yo, it's Fitzmagic. I know how he does, man. Like, this sucks, bro. Yeah. Never forget it, man.
But you know how he does. He's due to throw a pick or something at the end there.
Hey, yeah. They got lucky. They got lucky. That's all I'll say, man.
Now, what do you think of people saying, do we deserve to be in the playoffs right now, even before this game happens?
Deserve to be in the playoffs. If you win the games, you deserve to be in. Like, that's how it works. It ain't no, you don't get the style points or you lost this, you should have won that. Like, you don't deserve that. It's not college ball. No, this is the NFL. You win enough games, you get it, period.
Listen, I'm definitely with you on that. If we win this game and the Titans lose, then I feel like we deserve it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. If we lose this, though.
I'm good. I was tripping.
You good? If we lose this and the Titans lose, then I don't know if 8-8 getting in like that, losing. I don't know.
7-9 Seahawks team got in. They beat an 11-5 Saints team.
I know. That can happen.
It's happened multiple times, actually.
That can happen in the playoffs.
If you're in there, you're in there. That's how I look at it, man.
I'm with you. But in terms of do we deserve it, man?
My thing is this. If you don't deserve it, then you shouldn't have won enough games to actually qualify for it. Or another team should have won more games to get in. Like, that's how I look at it. If your record is good enough to get in at 7-9, what are we talking about?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess it just doesn't feel
Or excuse me, not even 7-9. They're 8-8.
I guess it just wouldn't feel deserving.
I don't know about you. I feel like if you make it to the playoffs, you make it to the playoffs. Because you're spoiled here in Pittsburgh. No, seriously. In Pittsburgh, fans are spoiled. They don't understand how much of a grind it is every year to make the playoffs. Like, you're just so used to, 10 wins. We're talking about 8 wins. It's just 8 wins. Like, that sucks. Like, I remember in Buffalo, bro, like, it is a grind. I'm talking a grind. You're scratching and clawing for everything. You talk about a Browns team that, when's the last time they had a winning season? When the last time they won 500?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, It is hard. Y'all in Pittsburgh, man, it's just, man, if we get in at 8-8, we don't deserve it. I wouldn't want that. I can tell you, it's at least 24 other teams.
Listen,
they were 7-9. They're taking it.
Listen,
if they could get in at 6-10, they would take it.
I definitely want it. I definitely want to be in. I guess just that feeling of, man, we're like that stepchild in the playoffs. Like our team sticks out more than any of the other teams.
Make it to the dance. Period. You rather be in the dance than not in the dance.
I would rather be in the dance.
And that's how it works, bro.
100%.
That's how it works. All that, you don't deserve it. All right, well, that team, they should have won more games than that's the case.
That is true. I mean, if
the Titans were to make that case, we lost, they lost, we should be in. Nah, if y'all want to be in, y'all should have won more games. Period.
There's going to be an 8-8 team, why not us?
Right.
Or 9-7 team, whatever.
We won enough games to make it happen. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Now, what do you think in terms of just on the field here? Is there anything? I mean, how do we dissect what's going to be happening with the Ravens team with all these backups? Because I'm assuming they're not going to be looking the same as they have.
Well, you got to think they said that it's 6 guys that are not going to play: Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, Earl Thomas, Marshall Yanda, Brandon Williams. Those like the 5 that they named right off the bat. At best, it might be 5 other guys that play a half. And they said, but shoot, 10 players out of the 46, you still getting pretty much the same squad. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think the offense is going to look the same, though, just because
RG3 is the perfect, in terms of backups.
I know.
In terms of backups, he fits what they're trying to do. The same way how Mason was worried because it's like, he can fit the mode of what Ben does. You don't have to drastically shift the offense. For RG3, that's his style of play.
Yeah, but you're not going to get that improvisation like you do with Lamar.
And that's fine.
Yeah, it's going to look more like a little more like a traditional offense than what we've been.
I think it's going to look like what we've been seeing from Baltimore. Not as dynamic because Lamar is that dynamic of a player.
Yeah, because all the broken plays that he makes,
that's 30,
40 yards is crazy.
But in terms of them
running spread offense.
Absolutely, that's going to be the exact same. That's what I'm saying. So you can't, because even when you go into these games, you're not going in with the thought process of, we got to call plays to stop improvisation. No, that just happens on the fly. You just got to deal with it when you deal with it. But in terms of the schematics of it, in terms of the zone read, in terms of the motions, in terms of them trying to get to the perimeter, different things like that, you're going to see that. Yeah. And that's my biggest thing. That's why I'm like, it's going to be a very unique game, to say the least.
That definitely is. On the road, and I know Duck's saying he's still confident, and people are saying...
You like that, though.
What?
You like that. You said you like the confidence.
Dude.
A couple weeks ago, you said you love that confidence, man.
I did, and then
you said I love that confidence, man. You gotta keep that.
Like I said, dude, new information starts being given to you. A bigger sample size is starting to be shown.
Yeah.
And you start to realize what does that confidence really mean?
Nothing.
I'm sure everyone's pretty confident at that level.
Yeah.
Now, so I don't know what to think with him. Like I said, I'm just numb. I'm just numb right now about the offense. I'm numb about this team. I think our defense is going to be fine. You know, we're going to hold them to maybe.
But we're going into this game, no James Conner, no Marquise Pouncey.
That hurts too, because obviously Finney came in last week. There's got to be a difference between him getting the week of reps and knowing you're going to be the center versus him just coming in last week on the fly. Because obviously there were some snap difficulties last week and fumbles and.
But they all, I mean, this season you can see Pouncey, he's dealt with that as well. And some of the things that are directly related to it are the amount of shotgun snaps. Like, it's like, I think he said earlier in the season when they asked him in terms of like why he was struggling with the snaps. He said typically if it's 60 snaps in a game, if he's with Ben, he might be in the gun 30 times. The other 30 are in the center. So it's easy. I mean, it's not easy, but 30 snaps isn't that bad. He's like, with these guys, out of 60 snaps, they're in the gun 45, 50 times. He's like, that's a lot of snaps. And if you mess up 3 of them, even though it's only 3 out of 50 snaps, those 3 stand out though, right?
They do. That's a good point.
And that's the thing. Yeah. It's like, it's 3 out of 50 snaps. But it was like, oh man, you put the ball on the ground 3 times. Like, yo, that snap was low. Oh my gosh, like, you got an issue this year. It's like, bro, that's a lot. That's a lot of a lot. Imagine long snappers and punters, they don't have to deal with it as much. But imagine if those long snappers had to snap the ball 20 times in a game. You don't think it would be some mess ups? 30 times in. You don't think it would be some lows and some highs? That's all I'm saying, man. So even with BJ, and like the way they typically structure practice for BJ is this. Wednesday, Pounce is going to have off. Either Wednesday or Thursday, one of his days he'll have off. Finney, he's going to take every rep that day in practice. I'm talking every scout team rep, every starting offense rep. And he's going to do the whole clip of offense because he's the starting center and the backup center when Pouncey isn't out there. So he gets a ton of reps at it. And then even during the weeks or the regular days when Pouncey is back out there, he's still getting a ton of snaps. So for him, that's why he's been able to be successful coming into games. Typically, I mean, he's 11-1 in terms of his record as a starter with the Steelers. So he has a ton of experience. But like you said, man, it's different sometimes, man, just with the amount of times you're snapping in the gun, the amount of times you got to get used to when you're sitting on the bench and then coming in as well. Like the one where Mason got hurt, the snap is fine, but then it's the feet get caught up, steps on his feet. So those are different things. It's like when you're out there, you get that feel for it. But it's just a different vibe of like, all right, we got time to warm up versus you're going right in the heat of the battle and trying to warm up on the fly like that. I think those are like the biggest things when we're talking about those, like in terms of BJ being able to come in like that.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's some good information right there. Thank you.
A little inside info, man.
No, I appreciate that, dude. So I don't know what to think, man. What is the keys for this offense? Obviously, they have a good defense. I don't know.
You just casually thought they got a good defense.
They got a good defense, dude.
Good defense?
This is going to be a
good defense. Sheesh. If we talked about our top 3, top 4 defenses, right?
Dude,
they're in there.
Like you said, Connor's out. What the heck's going to happen here?
Yeah, it's gonna be unique, bro. It's going to be unique. I'll say this, man. The number one thing they got to do is protect the ball. 22 straight games with a turnover. I still haven't done the research to see how many of those 22 games were multi-turnover games. But we know the past 2 games have been multi-turnover games.
I can't think, unless going back to maybe the Bengals game.
In terms of what?
Multi-turnover games.
No, San Fran, we had multi-turnovers too.
No, I mean the Bengals game, I don't think we did. I think we had one. I think it was the
Arizona,
one fumble.
We only had one.
Oh,
Arizona,
really?
Yeah,
okay, never mind then.
Arizona was Benny Snell's fumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the amount between then and now though is probably the majority.
Yeah, we have a lot of multi-turnover games. But like I said, 22 straight games with a turnover from an offensive standpoint or a giveaway, however people want to refer to it. That's unacceptable, man. So that's the first key in terms of being successful. We got to protect the ball. If we don't protect the ball, that Ravens offense, even with RG3 back there, they still are capable enough to put points on the board. I know we talk about how great our defense is, but shoot, Sam Darnold was able to capitalize on some of these mistakes as well. So just understand that right away. Like, they have weapons. They have guys that can really play. They can score. They can take the top off of defense, tight ends or receivers. So in that regard, it's like you have to protect the ball. The second thing I'm looking at is running game. Even though James Conner isn't out there, Benny Snell, you got to lean on him. Jalen Samuels, Kareth White. And initially, I know people were saying, and this is when I had my thumb on the pulse, still a nation. They were like, well, actually, this might be good because the guys are more productive on the ground rushing when there's no James Conner. They've had their 100-yard team rushing games with no James Conner, which is true in theory. So the only 100-yard rusher has been James, but it's only been one time this whole season. But as a team, they've been more productive running the ball when he hasn't been out there. But as I told you with Duck, it's about the quality of the opponent. Those games were against the Bengals. Those games were against, I think it was the Browns the second game, and it wasn't Arizona. It was another team.
Bengals. Well, Benny Snell had like 98 yards against the Bengals.
But we're talking about like as a team over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah. So obviously they had over 100 yards against the Bengals.
So that's what I'm saying, yeah. So it's like, you look at the teams that they're going against, though. They struggled against the run. So it's like, it's hard to just say, oh, yeah, this team is better when James isn't out there because they're more dynamic running the ball. When it's like, no, the quality of the opponents, the same thing we fell into the trap with Duck about.
It's really hard to agree with that considering the limited snaps Connor had these past 2 weeks, and he was clearly the better runner over anyone else.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like,
but sometimes,
he was the most efficient.
But I will say this, though. Sometimes the best ability is availability.
That is true.
And he hasn't been very available this season.
No, he hasn't.
So for me, I'm looking at it like, I understand when he's out there, he appears to be the best, but he's putting people in a bind also because you can't go into a game with him being the game plan, the focal point, and he's out there for 9 plays.
So that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
I see. Man, well, you're right. I mean, we've had some runs with these guys, Kareth White breaking off, 20, 30 bunches, and then Snell being the guy. We get 60, 70 yards from him. Jalen Samuels catching some balls. So we'll see. I mean, that's definitely going to have to be
but they gotta be
catalyst.
Productive. Yeah, they have to be productive because you can't ride Duck in this game. From a confidence standpoint, I know he's saying the right things. I'm still confident. I believe in myself. Let's be real. As an athlete, man, when you have 2 back-to-back games where you play really bad, it sticks with you. It does. I don't care who you are. No matter how much you try to just, why shouldn't I just go to the next play? You think about it until you start making the next set of plays. If he comes out early and makes some plays, well, yeah, now he forgets about it. But until then, he's thinking in my mind, like, man, I had 6 picks in the past 2 games. That's rough.
We're thinking about it too, man.
So that's the thing that like you have to be careful with, especially early on. Versus Ravens defense that's very opportunistic. This is a Ravens defense that gets turnovers. They create pressure. They do all these things. So that's why it's like you have to be careful in that regard in terms of early on with him. So I definitely think running the ball is key. I think the short to intermediate passing is very key. And I think getting these backs the ball early just in the flats. Like all of that type of stuff. The game plan that they used versus the 49ers. I would love to see that, where everything was dink and dunk, short, quick passes, timing. I would love to see that. I know fans didn't like it at the time.
Yeah.
And that's very true. And people hated it.
Wait, the Niners game?
Yes.
When we lost?
Yes, they hated the passing attack. Remember, Randy Fichtner needed to throw the ball downfield more. And then when Deontay Johnson had the touchdown pass, he was like, oh, they got to throw it more. See, look, when they let Mason cut it loose, this is how it works. And it's like, no. That pass was directly related to their starting cornerback getting hurt, and they put the new guy, and they took a shot right away at him. That's what that was. That's all I'm saying, man.
Those are all good points, man. I think just in general, there is an unknown factor to this game where people are thinking in the back of their minds, how the hell are we going to do this? How are we going to score? And because obviously they have a good defense.
Yeah.
And then I think there is concern for our defense versus their offense just from the standpoint of, they still have RG3 out there. They might be able to do something to where they get not crazy amount of points. They don't light it up, but they get 16 points like
That's
the Jets did
in this game. Yeah.
Like the Jets did last week, which is very possible. So I think that is the crux of this game. Like, what is going on?
The two things, another thing I talk about. Number one was the turnovers, right? You got to stop turning the ball over 22 straight games. Can we get 2 offensive scores in the game?
I don't know if this is the one, dude.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been a minute since that's happened. And barring anything crazy, this will be the first game or the first season in I can't remember how long that we haven't had a 30-point offensive output. No 30-point game this season.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yep. Interesting.
It is definitely interesting.
Yeah, man.
No, it goes. No, I'm not going to get into it. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's a little rough right now, man.
Here's what I think of the Ravens just in general.
Mm-hmm. They suck. Go ahead and say it, man.
Nah, man.
Go ahead. I know how you do, bro.
I do think
they suck.
I do think it's going to be different for them.
You're not
going to
say they're overrated. Go ahead and say they're overrated, bro.
I'm not going to say that.
Come on, that's what you do, though.
They're a solid team. It's undeniable they're a solid team. Lamar Jackson.
What is a good team?
Is MVP.
If they're a solid team, what is a good team? I'm just curious. You just called them solid. I consider the Bills a solid team.
Ravens are a good team.
In my eyes, yes, the Ravens are a really good team.
I just want to see how this translates in the playoffs. That's all I want to see. They got the bye, so they have it set up for them pretty well. Home field advantage.
It's the playoffs. None of that counts to me. I don't care about home field. None of that. You got to play these games, man.
Dude, it's way better than playing home field if they have to play like New England.
I feel like that's all mythological, man.
Instead of them going up to New England?
All I'm saying is, like, I've been in places on the road where you get wins. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I look at it like, man, if you're good, you're good. Period. Yeah.
And I'm good with that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times, like, fans, media, they make it bigger than what it is in terms of, well, this team has had so much success because they're only playing at home. It's like, no, those are still really good teams. They win these Super Bowls. The Super Bowl's not at home. The Super Bowl's at a neutral site. If you're good, you're good. And that's how I always looked at it, man.
Yeah. No, but do you give any credence to my concern or my thoughts here about them like going into the playoffs as a team?
I personally don't, because number one, they can run the ball. Number two, they play really good defense. Whatever Lamar does is icing on top. That's how I always look at it. If you can play really good defense, that travels. It doesn't matter if it's September or if it's January. You play good defense, you're going to keep the scores low. If you can run the ball, you're killing the clock. And you're also keeping your offense on the field, keeping your defense rested, so that defense that's really good stays fresh the whole time. Now you add in the fact that Lamar's having MVP caliber season. He's able to do the improvisation. He's able to hit some of those passes down the field, break a long run. That's like the X factor element of it. So for me, I'm like, when I watch this Ravens team, I'm not even enamored with just Lamar. I'm looking at how Mark Ingram can pound the rock. I'm looking at how when they call some of these design QB runs, Lamar is getting 10, 15, not taking a shot. That's what I'm looking at, and how that defense is creating turnovers. They have a guy, as soon as he crosses midfield, it's points in Justin Tucker. Like, those are the things that I look at. So it's like, whatever Lamar does is like, yeah, if he gets on, then it's like, yeah, good luck.
Is this just me being like sour grapes?
Yeah, I mean, but we already know you like this. We talked about this even when it was the Bills game. We talked about that.
That one I definitely stand by. They're getting bounced first round.
It's cool, man.
I'm telling you right now.
It's cool, bro.
And
you ain't even think they was gonna make it this far.
I'm just saying, with the Ravens, if they gotta play Kansas City, they gotta play the Patriots.
Those are two of the top 3 teams in the AFC. Like, what does that say though? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, what does that, like, is that a bad thing if they lost to Kansas City?
No, it's not.
Or is it poo-poo to put if they lost to New England?
I'm just telling Baltimore fans, get off your high horse, because that's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does that mean, though, bro? You're saying it as if those are 2 bad teams you named. I can see if you said, oh, man, I'm telling you, they're going to lose to Buffalo or they're going to lose to the Texans. Like, that'd be a different conversation. We're talking about 2 of the top 3 teams in the AFC, 2 of the top 5 to 6 teams in the NFL. Like, that's realistic. It could happen. It's not a bad thing. It's not hey, get off your high horse. It's like, bro, any team that plays those 2 right now could lose. And they could be saying the same thing about going to Baltimore.
Oh, it's playoff time. So that's what I'm saying. Just, all right, you had your good regular season. Now it's coming into the playoffs. Get off your high horse. Anything can happen here.
You're a hater, bro. God, dog. I love it, though. I love it. But you are a hater. Wow.
They got lucky this year, dude. Ben was out. They got lucky.
They could be saying the same thing about us all the other years, man.
No.
What, we had a great regular season, then got beat in the playoffs? Every year, I would say we got beat in the playoffs.
We got unlucky in those playoffs.
Not unlucky. We got beat in the playoffs. We lost in the wild card, we lost in the division, and we lost in the AFC Championship.
We got unlucky, dude.
We lost twice in the divisional round. Once with home field advantage.
That Jags one hurts. That really hurts.
So they can easily be saying the same thing to y'all got lucky, man. Y'all had good regular season because y'all ain't playing nobody get off your high horse. They could easily say the same thing to us, man.
Nah, because we beat the Patriots in that regular season, so we should have been the 1 seed. And then Shazier got hurt. You brought this up because
absolutely. It was other factors, sure.
We got screwed, man. There's a lot of things.
We got screwed. It's part of the game. Injuries happen. It's a part of the game. All I'm saying is you can't talk crazy about one team that is balling out. And it's talking about they got lucky, man, this and that. When it's like, what did we do that was so different?
Nah, I'm saying they're solid.
We were the number 2 seed and got beat in the second round of the playoffs.
They're a good team. They're a good team. All I'm saying is the division would have been a little tighter. They might have had a little tougher time.
That's fine. But would the results have been the same in the end?
I don't know, man. Maybe we win that Ravens game.
I don't know because our roster looks drastically different if Ben's here.
And then we win this game. You know, they're 12-4. We're 13-3. We're 15-1. 15-1, maybe. Like I said.
Wow. If you say so, man.
They had listen. Kudos to them for their year. Lamar, obvious MVP, had an awesome year.
Didn't they win the division last year too?
Huh?
They won the division last year too, right?
I'm trying to think what happened there.
Like what? I'm just thinking like. Yo, you're crazy.
Oh man, dude! Last year, come on, don't get me on last year, dude.
What was the difference?
The missed kicks, the self destruction on our part,
the league leading interceptions.
They didn't win the division. We gave it to them.
Oh my gosh! Whatever you say, bro.
We gave that division.
You're right. We led the league in interceptions. We gave a lot away there.
Whoa! We're not talking about that. Man.
We did. If we were to talk about give it away, there you go, man.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fumbles and the
interceptions.
Kicks.
And the interceptions.
The picks weren't that bad, man.
What? They at least 2 games it cost us? Definitely Denver.
Denver's the only one. But we could say the fumbles cost us in Denver too.
Okay.
It was just self-destruction all around.
A lot of interceptions.
That's how they won. We gave them the division last year. We said...
Whatever you say, bro.
I don't know what was going through our minds. We're thinking, hey, we could take a playoffs off or something. I don't know what was going on.
At the end of the day, the results are the results. Okay, so you can call it whatever you want. You can say Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, he found a golden ticket. That's why they won. I don't care. The results are still the results. All right, whatever you need to say to make you feel good, to make you feel. This is what we talk about seeking comfort. When we play, this Coach Tommy, he's like, yo, don't seek comfort. He's like, yo, what do you mean by what's seeking comfort, Coach? What do you mean? When you try to justify, make all these excuses for the outcome. No. They were better than us last year. They were better than us this year, man. You chew it, you own it, come back and get better next year, bro. It's that simple. Like, what?
I wouldn't last in the league.
Nah. You over here trying to make every excuse in the book. Man, we gave that away. All right, hey, Buffalo's been giving the division away for 15 years now?
Yeah, but Buffalo wasn't the caliber team we were, though.
Whatever you say, bro. You are what you are. Because the dream team from the Philadelphia Eagles, when they had Vic, D-Jack, Shady McCoy, Jeremy Maclin, all them boys, they were the dream team, right? On paper, super caliber team. Didn't make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying, bro. You are who you are.
I just want to say kudos to the Ravens. Hey, good year.
Now it's kudos to the Ravens. You just said get off your high horse. Y'all gonna get beat. Y'all not gonna make no noise.
Hey, it can be both.
What?
Jesus. Kudos to them. Good year. Lamar MVP. Awesome year for him.
You are funny, bro.
That's all. It's playoff time for you now. Let's see how it translates. Last year you guys got bounced.
You are funny.
What?
You are funny, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. You're funny.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's all good.
So, anything in terms of the game?
How are you feeling though? Like in terms of,
I'm numb, dude. I told you.
No. Not numbness. I'm saying like, do you think the Steelers get into the playoffs though?
Can they get in?
Not can they? Do you think they will?
I mean, I'm going to predict them to win. So.
No, not predicting them to win. I'm saying, do you think they get into the playoffs?
Like the Titans lose?
It's what?
Like
either we could lose and the Titans lose, or we could win and the Titans lose.
So yeah,
do you think we get into the playoffs?
You're asking me if all these things happen.
Not all these things. I'm just saying it's four scenarios. It's 4 different scenarios where we can get into the playoffs.
There's 2 things.
4 different scenarios where we can get into the playoffs.
I'm just sticking to the first one.
I'm just saying, do you think out of any of these 4 scenarios that has to happen, do you think we make it to the playoffs?
I think there is something to Tannehill and the Titans. The pressure's on them. The question is, do we capitalize on our end? Because Houston's going to be starting their guys, which I have no clue why. I have no clue. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Sean Watson's banged up right now. He's your star, your MVP. I mean, if he's out, you're going to be doing what you've done the past, 2 or 3 years, having TJ Yates or whoever the heck quarterback you had rolling into those playoffs.
AJ McCarron now.
Jeez, oh man, dude. You need to protect Sean Watson. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but it's going to help us, presumably.
Okay.
So, shout out to them. Thanks for doing that. You're not being wise, but whatever. I think the percentages are in our favor.
So, is it a yes or no, man? Are they going to make the playoffs, yes or no?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you, Dad.
What?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little different. And here's why.
Why the Titans win?
Well, this is the thing. So we talk about our game, which I don't think is a gimme first off. I think we are in for a real-life dogfight. Because from an offensive standpoint, we are struggling to put up points. We know we're going to need to score at least 14 points to win.
Not in my prediction.
And we're going to find out. Yeah, but I think that's going to be one of the tougher things that they're going to have to deal with. Also, to go into that Houston game, Deshaun Watson, Nuke Hopkins, all those guys, they say they're going to play a couple of series tops.
That's it?
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
A couple of series tops. So, AJ McCarron is going to be the guy out there the majority of the time. But also, the Titans were smart. You know what they did with Derrick Henry, right? 2 games ago, he was a little tight. They set him down last game. They said, we're not going to play because we have nothing to gain. So now he's fresh coming into this game. They already played them tough 2 weeks ago. Should have beat them.
I didn't.
So now
you gave me new information there. I didn't know about this half-series stuff.
Yeah, so now the Titans, highly motivated. They know if they win, they're in. They're going to have a fresh Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill's been playing really good this season. That's my issue. I think regardless of what happens in Baltimore, even if we do find a way to get the job done, I don't see the Titans losing to the Texans.
Now I don't, just because you said that. So I'm kind of on the same page with you now. Jeez, why? That's a tease, man. You say Watson's gonna play. It's only gonna be a few series. It's dumb. Don't play the few series.
No, because this is the reason why they say they're doing is this. And I'll tell you from personal experience, it's smart because when you're going into the playoffs, when you're sitting for like a week, even if it's a week or 2 weeks, right? Even that's why I was a little surprised with Lamar not taking a series in this game. When you sit, your body is so trained, so conditioned for, okay, do my week routine, play on Sunday. Do my week routine, play on Sunday.
Lamar's going to be out 2 weeks.
Right, so I think that affects him. I think most of the time you got to a slower start. Now with Deshaun Watson in them, it's like, you got a big wildcard game coming up. You can't afford to get off to a slow start in that wildcard game either. You have to be ready to go. So you give him a couple of series, 2 to 3 tops. So at least he's staying fresh. At least he's still going through the mental reps. He's still going through the physical reps and everything like that. So that way, if they play on a short weekend, a Saturday, because that wild card week, you might play on that Saturday or that Sunday. You got to be ready to go. And that's why it makes sense for them to do that. But of course, if he takes a shot early in the game or something like that, they're going to pull him. But you don't.
Dude,
you
this
also
ain't
don't play
preseason. That is risky because Titans are going to be going all out. They're trying to win.
Yeah, but you also got to remember they got one of the best left tackles in the game in Laramie Tunsil. Their O-line has been drastically upgraded this year, and that's why Deshaun has been able to play so much better.
Yeah, but how aren't you thinking if you're Deshaun, like when you're out there, you're not going to be going all out?
But see, that's the difference. Fans think you don't go all out. When you're on that field, you go all out because if you go out there half-cocked, you're going to get hurt. If you go out there with the mindset of, I don't want to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. Like, you have to just go out there and just play. Like, that's the difference. Like, we always laugh when people were like, oh, man, don't you guys go out here? Like, it's nothing. The game, be careful. Like, nah, you don't go out here like, oh, man, I don't want to be out here. I'm going to just chill for a series. Like, nah, because like, you can really get jacked up in this game if you're not fully there.
That's good to hear then because if he was going in with that mindset of I'm just going to be lackadaisical or I'm just going to try not to get hurt and just be out here, then that's when the injury does happen. So, but I guess if he does have that mindset, he should be fine.
But you're also going to see from a play calling standpoint, similar to what we saw from Ben in that Titans game, third preseason game. They're going to call plays that structure where they can't get touched. Quick hitting, run the ball, quick those. Same when we saw when Ben came out that third preseason game. Remember, it was what? Run, quick dink and dunk. All right, now I'm going to take a shot. Get out of here. That's what you're going to see from the Texans. You're not going to see none of these elongated 5-7 step drop backs scrambling around. No, it's going to be timing routes. It's going to be running the ball. Just get the field, going through your mechanics, and after that, get out of there. Yeah.
Did you see me staring off into space there when you're talking about the Titans game? You just had me reminiscing. It feels so long ago. That was such a different time. So much to hope for. The past touchdown pass to Juju. Oh man, what Steeler fans, we were so excited. So excited, man.
Yeah, man.
Little did we know what was coming this year.
It's different, bro. It's different, man.
But anyway, thanks for bringing all that up, because I think you actually swayed me from my my hot take there at the beginning, saying Bill O'Brien's dumb. Thank you for doing this. And then even I didn't want to get off that track, and whenever you said they're only going to play like 3 series, I'm still saying it's dumb, but I think you fully convinced me that's probably a wise thing to do.
And I know,
not for us though.
One of the things that I tell that a lot of players would tell you is like, we talk about the bye week because it gets you the home field advantage, and that's cool and everything like that. You don't have to travel, but a lot of players will also tell you that they would much rather be playing that first week of the playoffs because it keeps you in that mode, and we benefited from. I tell you all the time, we benefited from playing.
Long-term mentality. Yeah. Like this is actually going to help us more get to the Super Bowl than taking a week off, even though you're guaranteed
that
the win.
Advance, yes, because we told people all the time. I was like, we felt, barring Le'Veon getting hurt, we thought that year that we had to go on in the wild card, beat Miami, then go to Kansas City, beat Kansas City, then go to New England. If L. Bell doesn't get hurt going into that game, that New England game, we felt confident 1,000% that we were going to get the job done because we were already just clicking. We were a well-oiled machine. That year when we had that bye week and had to play Jacksonville, I remember just that whole time we were just like, dude, during the bye week is just different because no matter how tough you try to make practice, even put the pads on, it's like it's not the same. And I remember that first half of that game, the difference is this. Us, when we played Kansas City, that first half after we had just came out of that dogfight with Miami, man, we were like some animals just got out of a dogfight. We were ready to go. We're like at them from the beginning. And you could tell like they were warming up to them. We were like, man, we'll eat your face off right now. Like, period. But then we flip it the next year later, and it was the opposite. Like for us, we were just kind of like, man, we easing into this thing, man. We good. Don't worry about it. And them boys were like, man, we are coming for you.
Fournette was ready to go, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it's always difficult. And we always talk about people say, oh, the Patriots, they do it all the time. The Patriots do it all the time. That's a one-off. That's one of those teams. They're the only team that historically has had that type of success every year after having to bye. But because they've done it so many times, I think that's why it helps them out. Whereas the rest of the teams, it's like you don't see a lot of teams that every year they got to bye like that. It doesn't happen because the competition is too great. But I'm telling you, man, like, that off week, man, it just makes you just turn them RPMs down a little bit. You rev it down, and it's hard to get it back going again, man. Yeah,
that Jacksonville one hurt, dude. That hurt.
Yeah, we didn't get going. Like I said, we didn't get going to the second half, and it was too late by then.
No, and you could tell. I mean, I think wasn't it like 21-0, like right off the bat.
Yes, it was like, whoa, all right, we're not on bye week anymore, guys. Let's turn up.
I mean, as disappointing as that game was, that was
crazy exciting.
Crazy game to watch. Like the comeback and everything.
Yeah. Well, and that was the frustrating thing for us because we knew as a team we were the better team.
Yeah, because you could see it. You could see it after that.
But it's like you spot a team 21 points in the playoffs. Like, what do you expect? You know? And that's why we're always just like, when you get to the playoffs, we don't care about what your record is. We don't care if you deserve to be here or not be here, or did you get in on a technicality or whatever. It's like, you got to take every team serious, man. And you can't warm up to. You have to go right now because them teams are hungry. And them teams that had to come out of that wild card, it's a different look in their eye, man.
You brought a good point up with the Patriots because I'm trying to put like 2 and 2 together here. Them being there so many times. I feel like in our case with that first round bye, what players on the team experienced that?
Outside of Ben and Pouncey, I think that Ben, Pouncey, and Deke were the only ones we had talked about it.
And that's the thing. You don't know till you know.
Yeah, we were so young. We were just, like I said, the first 2 years, we were fine like playing in the wild card. Like we loved it. We were like, we want to keep playing. And selfishly, we like the wild card because you get paid to play during the wild card week. On the bye week, you don't get paid. Yeah, we weren't feeling that at all. We was like, yo, what is this? Like, y'all tricked us.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing then.
Nah, but the money is drastically different too in the playoffs. Like, I don't want to say it sucks, but yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
So to put it in context, during your regular season, your 16 weeks is when you get your contract money.
Yeah.
So you got like Ben.
The playoffs is just extra money.
Yeah. So playoffs,
got you.
Playoffs. So for example, Ben, he can make 6 figures per game, right? When it's playoffs, he's making the exact same money as a practice squad guy.
Got you.
But you're taking the same risk, same everything.
Your contract is broken
for the
up
regular
over
season.
16 games.
Yes.
Or 17 weeks.
Yes. So when you get to the playoffs, we would all be like, yo, this is like, we're taking a pay cut here because you drastically go from.
But it's still extra. It's extra money, right?
In theory, yes. But this is the thing. You're still taking the same risk. You get hurt.
Got you.
You get hurt. You're doing it for 10 grand.
It's hard to
like no exaggeration.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a check for 10 grand to play that game versus like in the regular season you might be getting a check for 100 grand.
I get what you're saying.
See what I mean? Same risk, and 100%. The NFL is bringing in more money because it's the playoffs.
Yeah, it's really hard to look at, especially because you're playing the extra games. Like you said, the risk to say like, hey, my contract for those 17 weeks.
But you get an extra 10 grand right here.
Just,
it's like
just extend that over these games. I get what you're saying.
So that was the part that was always different for us. We was like, yo.
So that's really that love of the game there.
Oh no, it is without a doubt. Like when you get to it, you're saying, look, we don't care about the money. We're trying to win a championship. But you get that check and you're just like, man, my leg feel like it got ripped off. Like when I tore my pec in that game versus Denver, when I got that check, I'm like, wow. Wow. Didn't trick the whole offseason off of that? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, man.
I see what you mean then.
Yeah, that's the only difference. Because it's like, we all have the love of the game, without a doubt. But when you get to this level, you're professional. And
you're just trying to be smart.
But everybody has a number for what they're willing to risk that for. Regardless of how much you love the game. Trust me, if they love the game that much, they would say, oh man, don't worry about contracts, we'll just do it for free. Nah. You have a value. And that's everybody. You're not... Think about everybody that goes to their job right now, right? No matter how much I love going to work. I love doing the radio. I love doing TV. Yeah, man, I don't feel like I'm working because I love doing what I do. Let them tell you they're not going to pay you. I bet you don't go to work. Let them tell you, hey, look, man, I know you used to get, a couple grand a week. We're just going to pay you a couple $100 this time. But it's bonus money. I guarantee you they change their mind, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That's good points.
So for us, we're always like, yeah, we're not going to complain about it because we know publicly you can never complain about the money because it's too, people can't understand it. Yeah. Because it's all relative to each person.
The curious discussion then is those guys back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Actually, maybe next time we have one of those dudes on the podcast, we could ask him this because the general consensus is, oh, those dudes love the game. Like they be doing it for free, this and that. I mean, I guess with what you're saying, if you look back, there probably wasn't a better job out there.
No, I was gonna say the money relative to that time was good. Even though they still had another job that they worked typically, like especially guys in the 70s and the 80s.
What else are you gonna be doing? You've even said this with football, like even with all the risks, like it's not a job for you guys. Like,
we feel good about it, even though like you still like. We tell people it's more of a job than the typical 9 to 5. Right?
I'm sure you work way harder.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like you still just have so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
But it's not to the point where you'll go out there and do it for free. Like, people say that all the time. Oh, man, I'll trade places with you in a heartbeat. I'll do it for free. No, you wouldn't. I can assure you wouldn't do it for free. Not happening, bro. Yeah, but it's all relative though. Money, like we talked about before, money is super relative to people, and that's why we never really. I never really try to go public and talk that with people because I'm like, you're not gonna understand it. Like it's just how it is.
No, I feel you.
Yeah,
good. I was gonna say good shit. Well, I did say it, but good stuff.
Oh man.
All right,
time for predictions, right?
I was gonna say, with all that being said,
what you got for us, Deke?
Oh, I told you, I don't think we're going to need 2 touchdowns for this win.
Oh, Lord. All right.
9-7, 3 field goals. They get 1 touchdown.
God. Sheesh.
I don't know how the heck this happens. I think after the Jets game, you mentioned it on the podcast.
Yeah.
The Steelers defense realized, hey, we just can't be really good. We got to be really great. Mm-hmm. And that's all they're going to let up this week. Mm-hmm. They know what's at stake.
Okay.
We get 3 field goals because At not one point throughout this podcast did I say anything about the offense doing anything good. Because I've been there, done that, and
oh man, it's rough.
I'm good on that.
Rough, bro.
It's gonna be Boz. He's the one that's been producing this year, so let's roll with him.
I like it, bro. I like it.
Hey, Deontay and James, they might get.
They've been doing it.
They might get 70, 80 yards, but it's gonna end in field goals.
They've been doing their thing, man. All right. I like it, man. So for me, I think it's going to be a closer game, low-scoring game as well. I got a 13-7. Actually, not even 13. Sorry. I actually got a 13-6, but I got Baltimore. And here's why, man.
Understandable.
We know that even with RG3 out there, they're still going to be able to move the ball in some semblance. Like, they're going to be able to do that. I also think that their one touchdown will come off of a short field because of a turnover. 22 straight games with turnovers. I told you already, until I see otherwise, I'm going to operate with the mindset that they're going to have another turnover.
Yeah.
And it sucks to think like that, but it's like they've went on a span now versus some of the better defenses in the league, and we've seen them get exposed. So for me, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think that we're going to score a touchdown. I do think we'll get some field goals, 2 of them. But I think one of them is going to come off of a turnover. Man. I think one of them will come off of a turnover from our defense where they have a short field. But you also seen how the past couple of weeks we've had red zone turnovers. Think about that. The Jalen Samuels interception in the end zone. We saw versus Buffalo, another red zone interception, the red zone fumble with Deontay Johnson, the Wildcat. You can't have those type of things and expect to win and expect to score. And we saw what our offense looked like versus the Jets defense, that even though they were good against the run and they have one of the better safeties in the league in Jamal Adams, from an overall defensive standpoint, their defense isn't as good as Baltimore's. And we saw how Ducks struggled bad versus them.
Yep.
So that's my issue, man. I say it hurts my heart to ever have to pick them punk, trash, rat birds. But like I said, when I do my picks, I got to take all that off. Hey, now, I hope I'm wrong. Now, I would love for them to come out here and surprise me. Don't turn the ball over. Light it up, Duck. We throw for 30, have 30 points. I would love that.
It's understandable, dude. Yeah, it's understandable. I'm not going to argue on it. I'm like I said, dude, it's just, all right, that's what you're going to say. Whatever. Man. Let's see what happens.
Like I said, and I think even more so, this is what adds to it. Because the games are at the same time there as in the Titans game, I do feel it's going to be a point in the game where they look up and the Titans are going to be winning. No, seriously, because we talked about how AJ McCarron, we know AJ McCarron very well. When he was in Cincinnati, we've seen him. We've seen playoff AJ McCarron. We've seen regular season AJ McCarron. We know what AJ is. We know what he is. We know him. Can't gas him up. Can't hype him up. We know who he is.
No.
So with that being the case, we talked about how the Titans have been on a roll. We talked about the Titans being one of the sleeper AFC teams. Remember, even back when it was them and the Colts, we were still just kind of like, the Colts got the better record, but the Titans are making noise. Ryan Tannehill's been balling out. The fact that they rested Derrick Henry specifically for this game, and he is arguably the best running back, just pure running back in the game. Not being a complete, he's catching the ball and this and that. In terms of just running the ball, you find me one that's better than him. You can say Nick Chubb, nah, not even close.
I still like
you can
Zeke,
say Zeke.
Man.
Zeke is a name right now, but you look at the better running backs this season, it's not close.
He has been balling out.
Yeah, like I said, man, don't get enamored with names. Just look at what the film tells you.
You're way more quick to move on from things.
What you mean?
Like names.
Yeah, because when you play, you don't care about a name. Because when you play, it's just like, that's just another guy. Fans get hyped up. Oh, that's Ezekiel Elliott right there out of Ohio State. Starter runner for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah. Feed him. It's like, no, I'm seeing a guy that's getting smashed right now. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. Like, I don't care about a name. Good for you. Get a sticker. I don't care. Like, you just another man to me.
Man.
Yeah. But that's just the athlete mindset. Because when you play, if you go out there and you enamored by this, you think when them dudes are playing Jordan, they're like, oh my God, this is Jordan. Or you think when the guys are playing, LeBron, oh my God, it's LeBron. No, you want to go at him.
I don't know. I think some of them are.
No, bro, you want to go at that man. You want to show him that, bro, you're not nice like that. I'm just as good as you, if not better. Like, that's the mentality.
I think some of them are. The ones that aren't the ones that we're talking about, though.
Oh, there you have it, man.
What?
That's it. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
All right, man. Anything
else?
What has
Zeke been doing these past couple weeks too, man?
What
is Zeke been doing these past couple weeks?
I've been watching them too closely. Although
I can tell.
I did have the Cowboys Eagles on in the background after last week.
It wasn't pretty.
Nah, I don't.
It wasn't pretty.
How many yards did you have? I don't know.
It wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I
past couple
years
it hasn't been pretty.
Okay, yeah, because you're a Cowboys guy.
Well, I followed them. Yeah,
like childhood, yeah.
I don't really care about them like that to the point.
No, I know.
It's like
I know.
do watch them though, but Damn. Like I said, it's a name though, bro. It's a lot of just names. It's a lot of names that people was like, oh yeah, he's good. I remember him from that one year. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm learning, dude. I'm learning. Yeah. I'm getting there. This is
Derrick Henry's a man, bro.
This is a good platform for me to learn. Like everyone's witnessing it on the fly.
The growth of Deke
as the season goes on, as the years go on.
Like I said, man, like you're talking about the year that Derrick Henry's having, just as a pure runner. That's why I keep saying just as a pure running back, not spread him all, let him catch the ball and do all that.
You could say like McCaffrey,
right. But I'm saying like just pure you lining up and you know he's running the ball. You're not stopping that man. Like he's falling forward every time. Yeah.
Good year for him, man. Good year.
I mean, past couple years been good for him, though.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Is this 3 in a row? 3,000 yard years? I think it is
3 in a row. Yeah,
might be 2, 3, something like that. But yeah. He's been.
And he's been in a trash offense too. We talked about how Mariota's been.
I guess until now.
Yeah, but even with Tannehill, they're still not like it's not as if Tannehill is lighting it up out there. Tannehill's doing his job though. No, he's doing his job without a doubt.
His numbers have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, but they are directly related to the running game. It's the same Tannehill from Miami. Difference is when look at Tannehill's numbers when Jay Ajayi was out there, right? For the Dolphins, his numbers look great. You look at him when he wasn't out there, he struggles.
So we're saying Tannehill's underrated or no?
I'm not saying underrated, overrated. I'm just saying when you have a good running game, it helps out the quarterback, which is why we talked about Duck and we talked about Mason. If they could have had a semblance of a running game consistently, they would look so much better right now.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The games that they've looked really good in were the games that we've been able to run the ball well in.
So, just in general, you probably don't view players in terms of rankings, right?
Nah, I really don't.
Because that's what I'm trying to categorize this right now. Like you see, there's 4, 5, 6 QBs probably that's just like I'm scared of. Like these dudes, you're not scared of, but you're just saying like these dudes.
They're in a different category, yeah.
And then you probably have a good mix of between
we got like
10,
tiers.
15.
I have different tiers, like tier A.
Yeah, but you don't rank those tiers. It's just those guys are in the mix.
Yeah, it's like that's tier A, this tier B, this tier C. I think this guy, I would rather see him versus him. I think he does some good things. Like when I talk about tier 2. If we're talking Dak versus Carson Wentz, for example, it's like, all right, well, what type of offense am I running? All right, if it's this type of offense, well, give me Wentz. If it's that type of offense, give me Dak. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I got tier 3. Okay, tier 3, I'm going to throw Tannehill in there. I'm going to throw Jameis Winston in there. Like, I'm going to do this, and this with those guys. Yeah. Even though Jameis about to lead the league in passing. Or he's up there. He's
31 touchdowns, 28 picks, though.
And that's fine. That's Jameis, though. But he's about to have 5,000 passing yards.
But I'm good with that. There's got to be another tier below that, though. Below Jameis and Tannehill.
Well, I don't really count the rest of them. The rest of them are just like... Because, no, seriously, that'd be like where you would put like
McCarron.
Doug, Mason... McCarron, like all those guys are bunched up in there together. It's real about it. You gonna take Duck over AJ McCarron?
Oh, I don't know what to think.
Right.
I'm just not. That's not even a conversation worth having. It's really not.
So that's why I just said all those guys are kind of in there together. I would roll with AJ because he has more experience.
Okay.
If I had to pick one,
that's fine. Like I said, dude, I'm not.
But
I'm not
like I said, you wanted Duck over Josh Allen, bro. So what are we talking about here?
No.
Yes,
man.
you did.
No,
yes, you
dude.
did. Yes, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this, bro. We're not gonna do this.
I'm just gonna say this. That was a completely different conversation. Then I'm taking this guy as my quarterback, franchise QB.
Whatever you say, bro.
It was this game, Allen versus Steelers, Duck versus Bills. That's all I was saying.
All I'm saying is, it shouldn't even been a conversation.
I learned, man. I was wrong.
Right, it's all good, bro. It's all good. I ain't tripping, man. I'm not tripping. Yeah.
Okay, dude. Is that all we got? I do got one more thing I wanted to say.
Well, I actually had a question for you, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was some debate going on in terms of the starting quarterback this week, right? Obviously, Mason's out, but they were talking Paxton Lynch or Duck. They made Duck the starter. people were kind of complaining. They wanted to see Paxton Lynch being a former first rounder, all the pedigree, rocket arm, all that stuff. What's your thoughts on that?
Let's just do what we've been doing. Tomlin seems to have a good feel for in-game management.
That's the definition of a center. Do what we're doing. Expect different
no,
results.
I mean, no, because when we've done it, it's actually worked.
6 picks in 2
games.
No.
We roll with Duck. He's more familiar with the offense. He's been getting the starts.
I mean, Paxton's been on the roster now for the past however many weeks.
Hey, if Duck throws a pick or two, get Paxton in there. Like,
But my question is, can we recover from 2 picks?
Don't be shy about pulling the leash. That's all I'm
saying is, can we recover from 2 picks?
We'll just see. It might be 1 pick. I don't know. If it's a quick pick right off the bat, if it's a bad pick, toss him in there, man.
All right.
I think you start with Duck, though. I'm not complaining about that.
All right.
Since you brought it up, I got to hear your take then.
Well, and then also we signed JT Barrett to the practice squad as well.
I wouldn't mind seeing him out there. It would just we need someone that's going to get us the win. And you know what? He's got that thing like Kaepernick that I was saying, which I thought Kaepernick would work for us. And we saw Duck in the early stages, his ability to move and get outside the pocket was definitely helping us. So I don't know what to think, dude. This is bad. This is bad. So whatever we got to do to win this game, I don't care who's out there, whatever it takes. If we got to pull, if JT gets the what would you say? He's not inactive. He's active for this game.
If they bump him up active roster room, give him the helmet.
You sit Duck, you sit Paxton, whatever, you put in Barrett, whatever it takes.
If we have to roll to our third quarterback, it's pretty much done for the day, bro.
It might be, but what if it's picks back and forth or something, and we're only down 10-6 and
if we got to roll into these guys, it's pretty bad, bro.
It's fine, dude, because at this point, it's week 17, and,
It's not like you putting on the season, bro.
No, you're not. You're saying we're going all out, is what you're saying. It's not you're punting. You're saying whatever the heck it takes to get this dub, we're pulling out all the stops. Forget about, this person's feelings the next game, blah, blah, blah. Nah, this is it. Just do whatever it takes.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm rolling with Doug, man. I don't think it's a conversation. When I look at Paxton Lynch from...
You good with my theory, though, of how quick do you pull it?
I'm not pulling Doug, personally.
At all?
No, unless you're going to hit those 6 picks, I'm not pulling them, bro.
Wow.
Just because from my personal experiences of seeing Paxton in games, even though it was only like 4 starts, I think it was, I've seen more than enough. and then some of the things that let me know that from a coaching staff standpoint, they've seen enough is when they asked Coach Tomlin in terms of, hey man, why, like, have you considered starting Paxton Lynch? Why hasn't he in the conversation? And he was like, well, he said something along the lines of, I've seen him. He's been on the roster for a couple weeks now, like good amount of time. He's like, we're not comfortable with him in that regard yet. We haven't been as intimate in the setting or something like that. And I'm like, yo, you're making a whole bunch of fluff, basically letting me know like he's not the one. You know what I mean? Like if it's anybody else, like you just hear how he talks about him. You're like, all right, cool. We feel confident. This guy, like that was not what I got from Coach T. Coach T was basically like a nice way of saying it's not a chance, bro. Like, and for me, they see him every day. So if they're seeing him every day and this dude's coming off of 6 picks in 2 games and you still not even considering it just a little bit, that lets me know what's up.
All right.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not pulling Duck. We're going to go down swinging. Guns blazing. Think Jameis Winston style.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever it takes. I'm good with that. So.
Whatever it takes, run the ball. Just run the ball. Run the ball, play action. Short intermediate passes. Whatever it takes.
Works for me. Now, I saw this on the bottom of the ESPN ticker yesterday. I don't know if you paid attention to this.
Good.
But it said Marcus Smart, because I haven't been paying attention to the NBA too much at all. Marcus Smart was out 7 games with an eye infection.
Yeah.
7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's probably, 3 weeks?
Is it 3 weeks? No.
2 to 3 weeks.
For basketball?
Yeah, 7 games.
Don't they play like 2-3 games a week?
2 weeks then.
Yeah.
All right, 2 weeks. I'm sorry. But anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to give myself like a little pat on the back because of that.
What you mean?
He was out for 2 weeks. I wasn't out at all with my eye infection.
You just sit down. What? What physical activity did you do? Jesus. You were funny, bro.
I feel like if anything, you running up and down, like you're not worried about
basketball being passed around. You couldn't even see out your eye. I was closed, bro. If I stood to your left side, bro, I could have been punching you in the eye. You would have had no clue, bro. Hey.
But anyway, that was.
You are funny, bro.
I was just like, maybe I don't deserve the pat on the back.
Man.
I was just like, man, yeah, it is a serious thing.
Well, because you have to think at that level, bro. Like, you need to be able to see. It's a reason why it's not a lot of blind guys or one-eyed guys in the leagues, right? Because at this level, man, you have to be able to see and react right now. Like, you don't have time to. What was that I'm looking at? Was that?
I don't know if you've noticed either, but I think now it's basically about fully good. But like even the past
it wasn't,
couple weeks, have you seen it?
Absolutely.
Like the infection was gone, but my eye was still a little sleepy.
and imagine, just imagine if you happen to like react right now to something. I'm talking like on the dime, split second, like because that's what it is in these sports, like basketball, football. It's like split second, like you gotta go, you gotta see it and go right now. Man, stop it, Brad. Stop it.
Hey, man.
I hope Marcus Smart don't come here and find you, bro. Marcus, hey, talk to me. Hey,
nah, man, we're in the same boat, man. I know how that eye infection is, man. It's bad. You're right. Different funny, professions, though.
You are funny. Don't miss. I ain't miss no time. What? I like it though. I like it, man.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.
Peace.